Hey guys, I'm at Rose Creek Farm here in Selmer, Tennessee, and in this video we're going to talk to Ray about how he has upgraded his irrigation infrastructure with hydrants and main lines to make sure that all these field blocks get watered effectively and he's got enough water when he needs it.
All right, so the biggest problem we've had for a few years was our main line is in that ditch that always floods, which the previous manager before me had installed that there. And so we were running all of our irrigation up over blocks from just hoses, and it was just chaos. It was a mess. And we've been wanting to do this for a number of years, but it's just, this stuff just takes time. So what we did this year is we have to do this. We can't do another season the way we've been managing water. So we installed a 1.5 inch PVC line underground from our main source, and then between field 1 and 2 is a main line, and then it runs beside this tunnel, main line right through here. We actually hired a trencher, because to do this by hand would have just taken us weeks. Because mind you, we're doing this in the middle of peak production, like we're going for it. So from here, then we've teed all of our hydrants on the corner of each field. So that way each field has its own dedicated hydrant. And what that allows is we can put timers at the hydrant, and it can be up and off the ground. And because part of our production for growing lettuce in the summer in open fields is you got to have water at the exact time that you need it, like every day. So by installing all these hydrants in these corners really made watering easy. And each block has between 2 to 3 runs of irrigation, and so you can have 3 timers. It just makes it very easy to teach someone else how to do your irrigation. Yeah. So beforehand, it was like this maze of a puzzle that only I understood. And I knew going forward, we had to make this where any employee with 10 or 15 minutes of learning how to set up could easily manage our water. Yeah. So yeah, we'll just kind of go down there and we'll show you the exact. But getting that done, it's important. Water is just so crucial, especially if you're going to grow greens in the south. Really anywhere, everyone needs water, but you need water consistently. And when it's really hot, you need water every single day to really grow a high quality crop.
So how much water are you guys getting off your well?
So we're getting 50 gallons a minute at 70 psi. So it's a lot of water. It's actually a 3-phase well, $10,000 well, and well pump. So we have plenty of water. So the issue is just getting it to the proper fields. And so since it's running from that well to 1.5 inch main line, and then we run 3/4 inch line to our hydrants, which has a T-post that's drove down. And then at this hole, we filled it with pea gravel so that the water can drain. Yeah. That's really important. Yeah. Yeah. So every field's got this, and so that's really important.
And how many? So all these blocks are irrigated by wobblers.
Yes.
And each of these lines, so you got 100-foot beds.
Yep.
And you got 4 wobblers per run, right? So they're recessed about 12 or 13 feet from the end. Yep. And then you got them every 25 feet after that, right?
Yep.
With this amount of pressure that you're getting 70 psi, yep, you can go 50 gallons a minute. Yep. How many runs of wobblers can you water at once?
I think we've run, the most we've done is about 10 at one time. 10
runs. Okay, so that means you can water a couple field blocks at least. Maybe even 3 field blocks at once.
Yep. Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, and mind you, most of our fields are coming on different times because it's different crops. So different crops require different water usage. So, but yeah, let's just say if there's all lettuce, we would just time like this run on this block would get it, and then that next run would get it. The problem with a lot of this stuff is you need maximum PSI to each wobbler, especially in windy environments. Right. Because the one downfall with wobblers, when it's really windy, you have inconsistent water pattern. Just blows. Yeah. Which is why drip tape is great. But drip tape is just so much management and getting set up. It's just it's a hassle.
It's a lot of playing around.
It's a lot of it's a lot.
Yeah.
And then we have this, you know, for cat tunnels we have overhead irrigation for that.
Yeah, right. So let's talk about these hydrants.
Yep. So yeah, these are just your 1/2 inch, 3-foot hydrants. We just got them from Lowe's. So you know, if you have Lowe's in your neighborhood, there's probably, I think we paid $60 for these.
And the cool thing about these is they actually turn off down below.
Yes.
So that they're frost free.
That's
Not
right.
that it matters for you here in Tennessee, but for most, like I have one of these in my Paso Solar greenhouse, and that is so if I ever want to turn it off,
right,
and freeze the greenhouse out, I turn that off, and then I don't freeze.
Right. Yeah, and the way that works is on the bottom of this hydrant, there's a pipe, and there's like this ball that fits into the inside of this bowl, and so when you open this up, you know, it's releasing. No, it's closing that up, and then whenever you close that ball releases, so all the water that's filled in here drains down, which is why you need to have gravel, so it all can percolate down.
Oh, that's why.
That's really important.
Wow, cool.
So, yeah, I mean, we don't get a lot of freezing, but you know, last winter we got down to 0 degrees, and if you'd have left this on, it would have just
exploded,
splintered into pieces.
Wow. Yeah. So on a market garden around this scale, this farm is what, 3/4 of an acre in production, Ray?
Right now, we're actually, I think, with having these field blocks, I think we're at about an acre.
Okay.
Yep.
So at a farm like this where you got field blocks, this is a great way to do it. You want to have a hydrant on each block so that each thing can be independent.
Right.
And that's how they've got these set up. They just got some basic orbit timers.
Yep. Very, yeah. I like these timers. One, we can get these locally. There's a few cons about this, and that is if you have low pressure, they don't allow as much water to go through the timers. So there's definitely better timers if you have low water pressure. But what I like about these is that you can, so like in the summertime, I'll set these between 2 to 4 times in a 24-hour period, just depending on what I'm growing, how hot it is. But what's great about this too is that I could manually, like this time of the year, nothing's on a timer because
Don't need it.
Yeah, you don't need it. And so I'm just manually looking at a field. If it looks dry, and I go, I'd like to water that for 30 minutes. I can just manually set this right here. I'll set that here for 30 minutes. And then it'll just go for 30 minutes and I don't have to think about it. And so this is great, especially if you're if you got employees who may not remember to turn this off. Then you can just set that timer and walk away and not even think about it.
Not think about it, yeah.
Yep.